What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we are talking about Alchemy. This will kind of be my improved Alchemy Goldmaking Guide, which I've made a video before on during the beta, but now we have the live gameplay, we know what things are selling for, and we know a little bit more about how to make gold with Alchemy as well. So today I want to show you my builds, I want to talk about the long-term sustainability of Alchemy, and why I think it's a very good profession to pick up on your main and even on your alt. It is a very good profession overall, at least for now, and based on my theory crafting here and the way I think it's going to stay that way for a long time. So this right here that you're seeing on the screen is a brand new alchemist that I've just set up. All I've done is gathered the treasures, we have put in knowledge points, and I've done the crafting orders. So you can get an alchemist like this in about 1 hour or 2 hours of gameplay. But that being said, I do have Renown 12, so I'm probably going to have 10 more knowledge points than most of you do, because at Renown 12 here, you do get 10 more KPs, so knowledge points. Now, not everyone will have that, some of you might, but not everyone will, so just assume that I have 10 more KP than you can get, but you can get everything else that I have in about 2 hours of gameplay. Now, what I've done here is, first of all, I actually power leveled Alchemy quite a bit by just making some flasks, because Darkmoon Fair was available, and I wanted to get the skill points for free from Darkmoon Fair for like the higher levels. So I went up to 99 by doing crafts, and then I got 2 skill points for free, and we are now at 101 out of 105. It is important to note I'm doing this on a goblin, so we have access to 5 more skill points. They are not super important, by the way, but I mean, at the start you're hunting for skill points anyway. There's a reason why you are putting knowledge points in for skill points, so being a goblin literally gives you 5 skill points for free, which at the end game shouldn't matter, but right now really does matter. It is 5 skill points after all, which is also the same as 5 KPs basically. So let's talk about the build, or multiple builds. I'll show you the one I'm going for, and I have a couple different ones here, so I'll show you from this guy and talk about the different routes you can take. So the build I'm going for on this character is hunting down skill points as much as I can, and I've gone into flasks. Now I'm hunting down skill points, but we also have the bulk production thing here for spillover and also multicraft. As you can see here, you get +3 multicraft per point spent, and then you can increase this by getting the spillover effect, getting your resourcefulness, and getting even more effectiveness from that as well. So you can get resourcefulness while crafting. Now what you want to do here, if you're crafting multiple flasks when you get to a certain skill level, if you're going to guarantee rank 3 for example when the raid comes out, just make 10 cheap flasks, because every time you do this you get +12 resourcefulness, and it stacks up to 5 times, but you can double those stacks over time. Like here you can double the maximum stacks, and the effectiveness is also doubled, so you can get 240 resourcefulness while crafting. It is very good for, once again, bulk production, which is what this talent point is named after. So if you're crafting multiple flasks, this one is a good one to go for. I'm going for it as early as I can on my quote-unquote main alchemist, where I can make a little bit of gold by mass producing flasks. Now if you only want to use it as a concentration character, you could possibly skip this and just go for the skill points here for +2 skill, and then go into Alchemical Mastery. Now in Alchemical Mastery you can get more skill points by maxing this one out, and then you can go get even more skill points by choosing certain herbs. Now here you will see Microbloom lore, you have lure drop lore, and you will have a bunch of knowledge points available to spend over here as well. Basically 200 KPs that you can spend into specific herbs. Now for this you want to like brainstorm a little bit about which flasks you want to make long term and spec into those. So for example, if I want to make Flask of Alchemical Chaos, that has a 755 recipe difficulty. Now if I want to do a concentration character for this flask, we want to spec into Blessing Blossom lore, Arathor Spear lore, Lure Drop lore, and Orbinid ore. That being said, for Tempered Swiftness, it is only Blessing Blossom and Lure Drop, but they also benefit you towards this one as well. So if you want to make both of these, then you probably want to go into Blessing Blossom and Lure Drop first, and then maybe go into Arathor Spear and also Orbinids after a while. Now that is only for these 2 flasks. If you're making, for example, the Phial of True Sight, which a bunch of people are doing right now, then you once again still have Blessing Blossom and Lure Drop, but you also have Microbloom. So you just want to look at the crafts of the flasks you want to make long term and find certain flowers or herbs that they have in common. If they have one in common, then hard spec into that one. If they have two in common, then hard spec into those two. So for me, if I'm doing both True Sight and the two that I have, they all require Lure Drop and also Blessing Blossom. So I can just go full in on Blessing Blossom and Lure Drop and make all of these three with like the most skill points that I have. And the more skill points you have, the more easily you can get into the Q2 breakpoint and then use concentration to get Q3. And the more skill points you have past the breakpoint of Q2, the less concentration you will spend. TLDR, you want skill points. So once again, for a concentration character, I would only pick this one for now. And then I would go into Alchemical Mastery, and then if you're doing Profession Files, you can also do this one for Profession Files specifically, but that one once again builds upon the file spillover effect, but also gives you plus 15 skill here and plus 15 multicraft. And plus 2 skill per point spent, obviously. So if you only want to do Profession Files, that one is a good one to go for, but for the most part I just put 30 points here, then I put 50 points here, and then I start speccing into individual flowers. Now for potions, it's the exact same thing. You are going for this one first, for plus 2 skill points in potions, and then if you are mass crafting, you go to bulk production. Because once again, if you're mass crafting, this one is pretty nice, and it gives you multicraft now, so that is good either way. Even if you're not multicrafting, you can actually get this one and get 240 multicraft, I think it is, when it is doubled and you have maximum stacks. So that's a lot of multicraft, by the way, that you can get. So you can make 5 cheap quality 2 potions, or even quality 1 potions, and then spend your concentration with a bunch more multicraft than you had before. So for this one, you would spec here, then once again go to Alchemical Mastery, and choose the ones that are relevant to the potions that you are making. Once again, you want to look at which potions people are using, so do some theory crafting here, go to some BIS lists, some guides out there as well for the raids, and see what people are doing. So for potions, you have Tempered Potion, for example, which is doing quite well and increasing secondary stats, which uses Arathor's Spear, Michael Bloom, and Lure Drop. So let's talk about concentration spendage. I want to talk about how I currently spend it and how much gold I make. Now, one very hidden gem here is quality 3 healing potions. Now, when I make these, I can make a batch of 15, so 15 healing potions, and just to make this video as relevant as I can, like I've sold these for a 5k each. Now, at the moment, we do have quite a few of them, and I think they've gone down to 3k. But could even be more as well. I'm going to go and check now. So quality 3 healing potions are selling for 1.5k, but you still get 5 of them per craft when you make this, and getting to quality 2 is actually not that difficult. All you would have to do is use some quality 2 or even quality 3 vials. Now if I use quality 2 vials and the quality 2 Michael Bloom, we actually get there, and then I can do almost 3 crafts. If I just upgrade these a little bit more, I could do 3 crafts on a full concentration spendage, which would then also give me 15 healing potions, selling for 1.5k each, on just spending concentration once. And Michael Bloom is quite cheap, the gilded vials are not so cheap, but at the same time you're making a bunch of gold. Now another one that I'm personally doing when I'm doing concentration spendage is File of True Sight, and this one is very relevant right now due to people farming, and it gives you 120 perception, which specifically for mining is really good, but even herbalism, it affects everything, right? So you get both herbalism and mining, and you can see camouflaged herbs and the camouflaged mining nodes, which is perfect. So this one is really good, it increases the gold per hour, and people will buy it. Now this one, when they do a fully concentration spendage, it has a huge skill requirement, by the way. So for me to get this one, I have to absolutely pump these materials, but I could also just do quality 3 gilded vials. So for me, I try to min-max this as much as I can. You can even use Craft Sim and optimize the cost for this, so material optimization, to see exactly what you would need to make or spend right here through the material optimization window, and then you will get the cheapest route, or quote-unquote cheapest route, to get this one to quality 2. And yeah, Craft Sim is great, by the way, but here you can see I can do 2 of these crafts on a full concentration spendage. That is 8 File of True Sight without a multicraft proc, by the way. And if I proc multicraft, which I have 12% chance to do, we get even more. But even no procs, nothing procking at all, we are making 40,000 gold. Now, we are spending a bit as well, so I would say we're spending 5,000 gold, maybe, give or take, maybe less as well, like 2,000 gold, and getting 40,000 gold back. That is a huge profit on spending concentration right now. And the thing is, I am also doing a flask of alchemical chaos on some of them, because I believe, like you can see the skill requirement here, it's pretty huge once again, and people will likely not be able to guarantee that when the raid comes out. So when the raid comes out on heroic and even mythic difficulty, I don't think the market can sustain the demand for quality 3. Think about Race the World First, for example, and how many flasks they will need. So Flask of Alchemical Chaos, you only make 2 of them when you make them, but they're selling for 6.7k right now, and you can once again proc multicraft on those as well. Now, at the very moment, if you're looking for gold right now, I believe making the File of True Sight is the best choice here, and you can even make that, sell that, and then buy this one, and you will very likely get more gold, or more bang for your buck basically. Your concentration will be better spent making True Sight, and then using the gold from selling True Sight to then buy the Flask of Alchemical Chaos back. I think that would be the best one at the moment, due to these prices, and once again you're making 4 True Sight versus only 2 Flasks of Alchemical Chaos. Now, you also have a whole different side to alchemy, which I was planning to go into. Like at the early start of the expansion, I had multiple alts set up for this. I even went to Mists of Pandaria to make a bunch of these stones. On the Horde side alone, we have 10 stones, and on the Alliance side we have 30, and that is on account 1. I have 2 accounts. We set up 54 characters with these stones. In the Mists of Pandaria, like we went to Mop and got a stone on the day of the release. We spent like 2 hours grabbing a bunch of stones just to be ready to make transmutes, and then I saw this Thaumaturgy tree and it doesn't really impress me. The profit behind Thaumaturgy is not super impressive, but then again, I think it might be a sleeper build. So anyone doing Thaumaturgy, I believe you might be eating well after a while. Even right now, you might actually be eating well. It's just a very hidden gem if so. Now, I'm just gonna say, Goldsen has some good videos on this when it comes to Thaumaturgy, and also Blasphemite. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna send you over to him to learn more about Thaumaturgy, because he has spreadsheets and good videos about that topic. So yeah, those are my alchemy builds. I'm going hard into flasks and potions, making them for now and for the raid release. And for the long-term sustainability, I think you will be shifting a lot from making True Sight, for example, to making actual output increasing flasks. So instead of making files, which are the best ones to make at the very moment, I believe in a couple of weeks that could change to the point where you're making, for example, flasks of alchemical chaos, or even tempered swiftness, or any other stats. And they will do well long term because they are needed in mythic plus dungeons, regular dungeons and mythic dungeons, and heroic raids, normal raids, and mythic raids. They will have a huge demand. And at some point, when people have spent a ungodly amount of knowledge points to get all of the quality upgrades they can on skill points, which, for example, for Flask of Alchemical Chaos, you have to spec out fully in flasks, and then you have to spec out fully in Alchemical Mastery, and then the 3 specific herbs related to that craft. So, I mean, in this case, yeah, we have Alchemical Chaos. They would go into all 4 of these to get them to guarantee quality 3, but even then, if they can ever guarantee quality 3, and if some people can at raid release, they will have to use quality 3 materials. So the long-term profitability here from having an alt army spec'd into this, for example, is that while others are using Q3 materials to guarantee Q3 flasks, we can use Q1 and Q2. And for example, if you can downgrade to Q1 vials over Q3, you're saving yourself about 1,000 gold per craft just by itself. And then if you can downgrade the herbs as well, now you're saving a bunch of gold. And even just going from Q3 down to Q2, you're saving a lot, because Q2 at the moment is pretty normal to find. Meanwhile, Q3 is pretty rare to find. So Q3 usually has triple, quadruple, sometimes 10 times the price of Q2. So being able to downgrade materials and still spend concentration to get those flasks cheaper will make you a lot of gold throughout the entire expansion very likely. And that is basically my alchemy video, and how I'm making gold with alchemy right now, the builds I'm going for, and the long-term viability of alchemy when it comes to the expansion overall. And I will say I've currently set up 8 alchemists made for potions and flasks specs in the War Within, and I'm not done. So far this is just the beginning, because I really do believe in alchemy, and specifically the alchemy Alchemy plus Enchanting combo. So I also have Enchanting here, but I haven't set it up just yet. I'll be doing so today on stream. So once again, a quick plug there, stream link down below, and also if you want to check out my gold making guide for the War Within, the link to that will be down below as well. This is a gold making guide that contains gold making information, both for professions and gold farms. Everything that I've picked up for gold making for the War Within is in that guide. It is currently about 100 pages long, guiding you through the professions, the specializations to go for, certain builds to go for. It even talks about how to spend your concentration and which crafts to use them on. So it's a pretty decent guide, if I can say so myself. You can go to the guide, the link down below, and check out the reviews if you want to have a unbiased third-party opinion. There are reviews on the guide, so you can check those out. And when you buy the guide, you also get access to a Discord server where I post some more gold making information, and I give you early access to videos and even exclusive videos. So TLDR, you get more content and earlier access to content. Either way, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Leave a sub, leave a like, and let me know in the comments how you are making gold in the War Within. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you again very soon. Bye bye. Bye.